Timeout. Sun.
Looks like she's in pain after that pass.
Please walk on the floor, please, and members of the
She had been dealing most recently with a groin injury.
In a powerful display of raw emotion, Caitlin Clark struck her head against the basket support, then broke down in tears on the bench. But this wasn't just about physical pain, it was the breaking point of a season defined by relentless targeting. Game after game, opponents have been allowed to play with an alarming level of aggression toward the WNBA's brightest star, with little intervention from officials. Throughout the night, the referee stayed silent. But it was what head coach Stephanie White shared during the post-game press conference that truly shook fans, a revelation that didn't just criticize the officiating, but cast doubt on the league's entire approach, confirming the fears many had tried to ignore.
No update. Just felt a little something in her groin, so we'll get it evaluated and see what happens from there.
Yeah, just kind of to follow up on that, looked like she was kind of grabbing at her right groin area. Is that the concern?
Yeah, if that's the one she was grabbing at, I don't know which one it was, but yeah, I mean, that's it.
Right here, she explodes, makes the backdoor pass, and immediately grabs the inside of that right leg.
The atmosphere inside TD Garden was electric, but surprisingly, it wasn't for the home team. The energy felt more like a full-blown takeover by Indiana fans than a Connecticut Sun crowd. Chants of "Let's go" fever echoed throughout the legendary arena as Indiana took control and never looked back, cruising to an 85-77 win over the Sun. Kelsey Mitchell lit up the scoreboard with 20 points, while Natasha Howard dominated the paint with a massive double-double. The win pushed their record to 12-10 and firmly planted them in the playoff conversation. For a moment, everything seemed to be going perfectly, until it wasn't.
Walks down to the end of the court. You can tell that she's in pain. You can tell that there's something wrong. She goes to the, what's it called? Like stanchion or whatever, the thing that holds up the basketball hoop on the other end. She hits her head on it. She is fighting back tears and she walks straight over to the bench. Now, when she goes over to the bench, she starts crying. And I've honestly never seen Caitlin Clark cry on the court except when she lost the national championship game. She keeps it together no matter what is happening. But you could just tell that something happened on that play. And it was either the pain of it. It was either like, here we go again. It was frustration.
In the game's final minute, Caitlin Clark executed a sharp backdoor pass, something she's done countless times. But this time, something went wrong. As she planted her foot, she recoiled instantly, reaching for the inside of her right leg. The excitement that had filled the arena vanished in an instant, replaced by a heavy, stunned silence. Her expression made it painfully clear, this wasn't just discomfort, it was serious for someone known for keeping her emotions in check. Seeing Clark visibly break down was jarring. The last time fans had witnessed her cry on the court was after a crushing loss in the national title game. This emotional moment revealed just how devastating the injury felt. And yet, this wasn't just bad luck. It was the culmination of months of physical punishment that had gone unchecked.
Probably won't get many details about the injury, but it was honestly just so heartbreaking to see because in that moment, she just looked so defeated. And Caitlin Clark is somebody, she hides it really well. And I don't know if hiding it or she handles it is probably the right thing to say. She handles the pressure. She handles all of the media spotlight, the attention, the expectations of how she performs on the court, the expectations of the ratings for her games. She handles all of that so well. And this season has...
What made this injury so alarming was its familiarity. It echoed a groin issue Clark had battled earlier in the season. She had already sat out 5 games due to a strain in her left groin. Now, the pain had shifted to her right side, a classic and troubling indicator that her body was overcompensating for an existing weakness. This kind of compensation often sets the stage for lingering, career-threatening injuries, but this wasn't just a random physical mishap, it felt inevitable. The wear and tear, the repeated targeting, the escalating physicality, it all pointed back to a clear pattern that started long before this game. To truly understand the weight of this moment, you have to go back to June 17th. That's when the Connecticut Sun drew a line in the sand. That matchup broke the unspoken code of respect in professional basketball and sent a message to every team: Clark was fair game, no matter the cost.
Third quarter we go. They're trailing by 10. Keep an eye on her and JC Sheldon. Clark trying to back her down.
Clark is okay.
Sheldon, that was Clark, hitting her in the face. Clark is upset about that. Then everybody's upset about that. Marina Mabry comes in. She decks Clark, tempers flaring on both sides.
JC Sheldon and Marina Mabry crossed every line that day.
That June game crossed a boundary. What began as intense competition turned into something far more disturbing. JCS Sheldon and Marina Mabry delivered a sequence of plays that stunned fans and analysts alike. Sheldon, in what seemed like a reckless act, jabbed her finger into Clark's eye, an intentional and dangerous move with no place in professional basketball. Shortly after, Mabry delivered a hard, blindside hit that knocked Clark off balance, resembling more of a hockey-style body check than a legal basketball play. These weren't just overly aggressive moments, they felt personal. Calculated. They sent a clear message to the league's rising star: you're not welcome, and we'll make sure you feel it. And how did the WNBA respond? With little more than a symbolic warning. The lack of meaningful consequences signaled something deeply troubling, that targeting Clark wasn't just tolerated, it was implicitly greenlit.
Mabry came in with a bump.
And Mabry's day is almost assuredly going to be done. But both teams.
Sophie commits a hard foul on JC Sheldon. Again, as JC Sheldon is going up for a layup, Sophie bear hugs her and takes her to the ground. What I will say is Sophie did not grab her and throw her to the ground. She didn't body slam her. She didn't do anything, in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm biased here, but I'm going to give you guys my straight up honest opinion on this. She bear hugged her, took her to the ground. Yes, it was intentional. It was absolutely intentional.
The history between these two teams was impossible to ignore as they clashed once again in Boston. This wasn't just another game, it was personal. From the opening tip, the tension was palpable. Screens were set with extra force, defensive pressure was turned up to the max, and even the off-ball moments were charged with emotion. Every stare-down felt loaded with unfinished business. Clark came out with a fire that was hard to miss. She attacked the rim with a purpose, fired off precision passes with intensity, and played like someone who had something to prove. This wasn't just about securing a win, it was about making a statement. She wasn't there to compete. She was there to take over.
Sheldon is going to keep the pressure on Clark. You see Tina Charles with the responsibility of guarding Aaliyah Boston. High hedge on the ball screen on Clark.
Inside perfectly.
One thing you know about Tina Charles, she has every shot in her arsenal.
Now Sheldon, the height disadvantage against Howard.
Yeah, good recognition.
There's also something where she's never battled injuries in college. She's always been something who has been a very healthy player. And this year it has been quad injury and then another quad injury and then a groin injury and now what seems to be another groin injury. Now, again, you guys, this is all from what we're seeing. We're just putting two and two together. Nothing has been confirmed, but it seems like she did re-injure her leg on that play.
It was obvious Clark wasn't alone. Her teammates had her back in a big way. Sophie Cunningham, who had previously stood up to both Sheldon and Mabry after their controversial hits, stepped into the role of the team's enforcer. Her presence sent a strong message: the Fever wouldn't be bullied, and any attack on their star player was an attack on the entire squad. Indiana responded the best way possible, by taking control on the scoreboard. From the opening quarter, they dictated the pace, outplaying and outmatching their opponents. Clark was at the center of it all, locked in and nearly unstoppable. But just as the team was finding its rhythm and putting the past behind them, the officials stepped in, and their decisions would only escalate the tension.
Multiple moments in this game that were so egregiously called, or there was no calls by the referees, and it's getting out of control at this point. And even Caitlin Clark's brother tweeted, "This one is on the refereeing." Like, there are people in Caitlin Clark's family who are starting to call out the referees because of how bad they have been.